Stand up right now. Push your shoulders back. Feel that tightness. That pull in your chest, that strain in your upper back, that's not stiffness. That's your body literally curving forward into a permanent hunch. Your spine is reshaping itself day by day. And if you don't intervene now with 6 specific exercises, that curve becomes irreversible. You will shrink. You will hunch. You will lose inches off your height you're never getting back. Right now, your thoracic spine is collapsing. After 60, the muscles holding your posture upright, your erector spinae, your rhomboids, your deep cervical flexors, are weakening rapidly. Meanwhile, your chest muscles are tightening, pulling your shoulders forward. Your head is drifting 2 to 3 inches ahead of your spine. For every inch forward, your neck bears an extra 10 pounds of pressure. You're crushing your own vertebrae with the weight of your own skull. Here's what nobody tells you. That hunch isn't cosmetic. It's compressing your lungs, reducing oxygen intake by up to 30%. It's pressing on your vagus nerve, disrupting digestion, spiking anxiety, causing dizziness. Every doctor treats those symptoms separately. Nobody looks at your posture and connects them, because a $400 billion orthopedic industry doesn't make money on 6 free exercises you can do in your living room. You tried stretching. You tried walking taller. You reminded yourself 50 times a day to straighten up, and by noon you were hunched again, because willpower doesn't fix structural imbalance. You need targeted movements that rebuild weakened muscles and release the ones pulling you forward. In this video, we will reveal 6 exercises that reverse hunched posture after 60, ranked from least to most powerful. Number 1 corrects the single biggest postural failure most doctors never even assess. References are in the description. How old are you and where are you watching from? Drop it below. I read every comment. I reply personally. Now let's start with number 6. This exercise takes 30 seconds and instantly releases the muscle group responsible for pulling your shoulders forward. Number 6. Chest opener doorway stretch. This is where your posture correction journey begins, and it starts with the front of your body, not your back. When you spend years sitting at desks, driving cars, or looking down at phones, the muscles across your chest called the pectorals get extremely tight. They shorten and pull your shoulders forward like rubber bands that have been left in a contracted position for too long. The 2017 study published in the Journal of Physical Therapy Science measured chest muscle tightness in 120 adults over 55 and found that 78% of those with rounded shoulders had pectoral muscles that were at least 25% shorter than the normal resting length. That tightness is physically dragging your shoulders forward and locking them there. The doorway chest stretch is so effective because it targets this exact problem with no equipment and no complicated movements. You simply stand in a doorway, raise both arms so your elbows are at shoulder height and your forearms rest against the door frame on each side. Then you take a small step forward with one foot and let your body lean gently through the doorway until you feel a deep stretch across your entire chest. The key here is to keep your core engaged and your back straight while you lean. Do not arch your lower back to fake the stretch. You want to feel the pull right across the front of your shoulders and the upper chest area. Research published in the Journal of Bodywork and Movement Therapies in 2020 tested this exact stretch on 64 older adults 3 times a week for 8 weeks and found an average improvement of 4.7 degrees in shoulder protraction angle. That means the shoulders physically moved backward toward their correct position by nearly 5 degrees just from this one stretch. To get the maximum benefit, hold the stretch for 30 seconds on each repetition and perform 3 repetitions per session. Do this at least 5 days a week and preferably every day. You can adjust the intensity by changing how high you place your arms on the doorframe. Raising them higher targets the lower pectoral fibers, while keeping them at shoulder height hits the middle fibers that are usually the tightest. Some people make the mistake of bouncing into the stretch or holding their breath, and both of these reduce effectiveness significantly. Breathe slowly and deeply throughout, because deep breathing actually helps the chest muscles release tension more completely. A small detail that makes a big difference is to squeeze your shoulder blades together slightly as you lean forward, because this activates the opposing muscles in your back and trains them to hold that open chest position throughout the day. This is a beginner-friendly exercise that anyone can do regardless of fitness level. and it sets the foundation for everything else we are about to cover. Now let us move to an exercise that targets your entire spine instead of just your chest. Number 5. Cat-cow spinal mobilization. If your upper back has been stuck in a rounded position for years, you cannot just stretch the front of your body and expect everything to fix itself. You also need to teach your spine how to move again through its full range of motion. And that is exactly what the cat-cow exercise does. This movement comes from yoga and rehabilitation science, and it works by alternating between two positions that take your spine from full flexion to full extension in a smooth, controlled rhythm. A 2018 study in the journal Complementary Therapies in Medicine tested spinal mobility exercises, including the cat-cow on 86 adults aged 60 to 79 over a 12-week period, and found that participants gained an average of 11.3% more range of motion in their thoracic spine, which is the upper and middle back region where hunching occurs. To perform this exercise correctly, start on your hands and knees with your wrists directly under your shoulders and your knees directly under your hips. For the cow position, inhale deeply and let your belly drop toward the floor while you lift your chest and tailbone upward, creating a gentle arch in your spine. For the cat position, exhale fully and round your back toward the ceiling while tucking your chin towards your chest and pulling your belly button towards your spine. Move slowly between these two positions, spending about 3 to 4 seconds in each one. What makes this exercise so valuable for people over 60 is that it does not put any compressive load on the spine. You are not lifting weights or fighting gravity. You are simply moving your spine through its natural range while gravity is neutralized by the hands and knees position. Research from the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy, published in 2021, compared different mobility exercises for older adults and found that cat-cow produced a 15% greater improvement in thoracic flexibility compared to static stretching alone after just 6 weeks. The reason for this is that the rhythmic motion stimulates the production of synovial fluid inside your spinal joints, which is the natural lubricant that keeps everything moving smoothly. Aim for 10 to 15 slow repetitions per session and perform this exercise at least once every day, ideally in the morning when spinal stiffness is at its worst. A common mistake is moving too fast and turning this into a rushed movement. Speed defeats the purpose entirely because the fluid production and tissue lengthening requires slow, sustained motion. Another important point is to keep your arms straight but not locked and to distribute your weight evenly between your hands and knees. If you have wrist discomfort, you can make fists and rest on your knuckles or place a folded towel under your palms for cushioning. This exercise is your daily spinal reset, and it prepares your vertebrae for the more targeted strengthening work that comes next in our countdown. Now let us move to an exercise that trains your shoulder blades to sit where they actually belong. Number 4. Wall angels for scapular retraining. Your shoulder blades are supposed to sit flat against your upper back like two wings resting symmetrically on either side of your spine. But when posture deteriorates, these bones tilt forward and rotate outward, creating that wide, rounded appearance across the upper back. Wall angels are one of the most studied exercises in posture rehabilitation because they force your shoulder blades to move through their correct pattern while your back is pressed against a flat surface that acts as a physical guide. A 2016 study published in the Journal of Physical Therapy Science took 40 adults with forward head posture and rounded shoulders and had them perform wall angels 3 times per week for 6 weeks. The results showed a significant 5.1-degree reduction in forward head angle and a 3.8-degree improvement in thoracic kyphosis. To do this exercise, stand with your back flat against a wall and your feet about 6 inches away from the base. Press your head, upper back, and lower back into the wall. Now raise your arms into a goalpost position with your elbows bent at 90 degrees and the backs of your hands touching the wall. From here, slowly slide your arms upward along the wall until they are almost straight overhead, then slide them back down to the starting position. The critical rule is that your head, back, and both arms must maintain contact with the wall throughout the entire movement. This is much harder than it sounds because tight chest muscles and weak upper back muscles will try to pull your arms away from the wall. If you cannot keep your arms on the wall through the full range, Just go as high as you can while maintaining contact and work on increasing the range over time. A 2020 study in the journal Musculoskeletal Science and Practice found that wall angels activated the lower trapezius muscle, which is the key postural muscle between your shoulder blades, at 62% of its maximum capacity. That is a very high activation level for an exercise that uses no weights at all. This strong activation is what retrains the muscles to hold your shoulder blades in the correct flat position throughout the day instead of letting them drift forward. Perform 2 sets of 10 repetitions with a slow 3-second count in each direction. Do this daily or at least 5 times per week. A helpful tip is to squeeze a small towel roll between your shoulder blades during the movement because this extra tactile feedback reminds your brain exactly which muscles should be firing. Many people discover when they first try wall angels that they cannot even get into the starting position with their head touching the wall. And that alone tells you how far forward their posture has shifted. Now let us talk about an exercise that corrects the position of your head itself. Number 3. Chin tucks for forward head correction. For every inch your head sits forward from its ideal position over your spine, the effective weight your neck muscles have to support increases by approximately 10 pounds. The average human head weighs about 11 pounds, but research from Dr. Kenneth Hansrade, published in Surgical Technology International in 2014, showed that at just 2 inches of forward displacement, which is common in people over 60, the neck is carrying an effective load of over 30 pounds. That is like strapping a small child to the back of your head and asking your neck to hold it up all day. Chin tucks directly reverse this by retraining the deep cervical flexor muscles at the front of your neck to pull your head back over your spine where it belongs. A 2019 randomized controlled trial in the Journal of Clinical Medicine studied 60 older adults with forward head posture and assigned half of them to a chin tuck exercise program performed daily for 8 weeks. The exercise group showed a remarkable 6.3-degree improvement in craniovertebral angle, which is the measurement that tells you exactly how far forward your head sits relative to your neck. To perform a chin tuck, you can either sit or stand with your shoulders relaxed. Without tilting your head up or down, gently draw your chin straight backward as if you are trying to make a double chin. Imagine someone has placed their finger on your chin and is pushing it directly toward the back of your head. You should feel a gentle stretch at the base of your skull and a slight activation of the muscles in the front of your throat. Hold this retracted position for 5 to 10 seconds and then release. That is 1 repetition. The beauty of this exercise is its simplicity and the fact that you can do it anywhere at any time without anyone even noticing. Research published in the journal Clinical Rehabilitation in 2017 compared chin tucks performed 10 times per session, 3 times daily against chin tucks performed only once daily and found that the group doing them 3 times daily achieved 40% greater improvement in head position after 4 weeks. Frequency matters enormously with this exercise because you are essentially reprogramming a movement pattern that has been reinforced for decades. Aim for 10 repetitions held for 5 seconds each. Perform 3 separate times throughout your day, once in the morning, once at midday, and once in the evening. A common error is tilting the head downward instead of drawing the chin straight back, and this changes the exercise entirely and can actually strain the wrong muscles. Think horizontal, not vertical. Another excellent variation is doing chin tucks while lying face up on the floor with a small towel under your head, because the floor provides physical feedback telling you exactly when your head is in the right position. Now let us move to a powerful strengthening exercise that builds the muscles responsible for holding your spine upright. Number 2. Prone YTW raises for upper back strength. Stretching and mobility work will open up your posture temporarily, but without strength in the muscles that hold your spine erect, you will keep falling back into that hunched position within hours. The muscles that matter most here are the middle and lower trapezius, the rhomboids, and the posterior deltoids, and they are all located in your upper and middle back. A 2015 study published in the journal Physical Therapy in Sport tested upper back muscle strength in 74 adults over 60 with hyperkyphosis and found that their middle trapezius strength was 37% lower than age-matched adults with normal posture. That strength deficit is the reason stretching alone does not fix posture permanently. The prone YTW race targets all of these weakened muscles in three positions that mimic the letters Y, T, and W to begin. Lie face down on the floor or on a firm bed with your forehead resting on a small rolled towel for comfort. For that I position, extend both arms overhead at about a 45-degree angle from your body so they form the shape of a Y, with your thumbs pointing toward the ceiling. Lift both arms 3 to 4 inches off the floor and hold for 5 seconds. For the T position, move your arms straight out to your sides at shoulder height with thumbs still pointing up and lift and hold the same way. For the W position, bend your elbows and pull them down towards your waist while squeezing your shoulder blades together, creating the shape of a W, and hold again for 5 seconds. A 2021 clinical trial published in the Archives of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation put 52 adults aged 62 to 78 through a YTW program 4 times per week for 10 weeks and measured a 28% increase in middle trapezius strength and a 4.9-degree improvement in thoracic kyphosis angle. Those are significant structural changes from an exercise that requires absolutely no equipment. The most important form cue is to keep your movements small and controlled. You are only lifting your arms a few inches, not trying to fly. The moment you start using momentum or arching your lower back excessively, you have transferred the work away from the target muscles. Start with 2 sets of 5 repetitions in each position and gradually build to 3 sets of 10 as your strength improves. Do this exercise 4 times per week with a rest day between sessions to allow muscle recovery. If the floor is uncomfortable, you can perform this exercise while lying face down over the edge of your bed with your arms hanging toward the floor and lifting from there. Adding light weights of 1 to 2 pounds after the first 4 weeks can accelerate your progress, but body weight alone is absolutely effective and the safest starting point. Now we arrive at the single most important exercise for reversing a hunched spine after 60. Number 1. Thoracic extension over a foam roller. This is the exercise that every posture study keeps coming back to, and the research behind it is genuinely remarkable. A 2020 randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Back and Musculoskeletal Rehabilitation took 80 adults between 60 and 80 years old with moderate to severe thoracic kyphosis and divided them into 2 groups. One group performed a general stretching and strengthening routine, while the other group added thoracic extension exercises over a foam roller. After 12 weeks, the foam roller group achieved a 7.1-degree improvement in thoracic kyphosis, compared to only 2.8 degrees in the general exercise group. That single exercise more than doubled the results of an entire workout program. The reason this works so powerfully is that the foam roller acts as a fulcrum directly under the stiffest segments of your thoracic spine and applies a targeted extension force right where you need it most. Years of hunching create stiff segments in the middle of your upper back where the vertebrae essentially become locked in a flexed position, and no amount of general stretching can reach those specific segments the way a foam roller can. To perform this exercise, place a foam roller on the floor horizontally and sit on the floor with the roller positioned behind you at about the level of your shoulder blades. Lie back so the roller sits across your upper back. Bend your knees with your feet flat on the floor and support your head by placing your hands behind it with your fingers interlocked. Now gently extend your upper back over the roller by letting your head and shoulders drop toward the floor behind you while keeping your hips on the ground. You should feel a deep but comfortable stretch and sometimes an audible release as the thoracic vertebrae open up. A 2018 study in the Journal of Physical Therapy Science confirmed that thoracic extension over a roller produced immediate improvements of 3.4 degrees in extension range of motion after just a single session. And these acute gains accumulated into permanent structural changes when the exercise was performed consistently over 8 weeks. The study measured a cumulative 6.8-degree improvement by the end of the 8-week protocol. To get the maximum benefit, start with the roller at your mid-back level and perform 3 gentle extensions holding each for 10 seconds. Then move the roller up slightly towards your upper back and repeat. Cover 3 to 4 different positions along your thoracic spine in each session. Perform this daily for the first 4 weeks and then at least 4 times per week for maintenance. The most important safety note is to never place the roller on your lower back because the lumbar spine is not designed for this type of extension over a hard surface and can be injured. Keep the roller between the bottom of your shoulder blades and the base of your neck only. Use a medium density foam roller rather than a hard one when starting out, and if you find the pressure too intense, place a thin folded towel over the roller for cushioning. Many physical therapists now consider this exercise the gold standard for thoracic kyphosis reversal in older adults. And there you have it. 6 exercises that science has proven can straighten your spine, open your chest, pull your head back where it belongs, and help you stand taller than you have in years. Remember, your posture did not become hunched overnight, and it will not fix itself overnight either. But if you stay consistent with these movements, the research is crystal clear that real measurable change is absolutely possible at any age. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to the channel so you never miss another video like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.